Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm John, and I'm here to review my brand new toilet, the Swan Munich. So a little bit background story on this is I was in Japan a few years ago with a few of my friends. This was my first time in Japan, and I didn't realize that everywhere in Japan literally had electronic bidets. I'm talking about residential, commercial, malls, anywhere, even the subway. So I fell in love with the idea of having one at my place. So when I came back, I put it on the list, make sure that if I ever replace a toilet, it would be a bidet. Fast forward 4 to 6 months ago, I started researching bidets, and I was kind of overwhelmed with the idea of all the features that it had. So Toto, Kohler, those were the top brand names, and their electronic bidet toilets were right around 4 to 6 grand, and I couldn't justify paying for something like that, but I did not want to skimp on the high-end features. I mean, obviously that's what you're paying for an electronic bidet anyways, is the nice features. So some of the features that I didn't want to compromise on was, one, the pre-mist feature, which wets the bowl prior for you to taking a number 2, and it prevents any kind of Klingons from sticking onto the bowl. Second one is the auto heat function on the water itself. So instead of having a tank, it's continuously heating the water, and so you have unlimited hot water. The third one is the auto lift on the lid and the seat, so it'll automatically open when you come near it and close when you leave. Finally is the flusher, right? So it's, in the end, it's a toilet and it needs to have a good flush. So those are the top features that I'm actually looking for in an electronic bidet. So the main reason why I pulled the trigger on purchasing the Swan Munich is because we were actually having a toilet paper shortage. Literally crazy time to be in right now. Anyways, the reason for that is it had all the features that I was looking for, checked everything off, and it had all the high-end features that Toto and Kohler had for a fraction of the cost. I purchased it for right around $1,500, shipped in the US, and this was actually the first toilet I ever installed. Installation is very easy. You can YouTube that. I'm not going to show you on this review, but the installation, just to let you guys know, it's a 2-bolt flange setup, just like a normal toilet, and the only difference is that this toilet is 110 pounds versus 60 pounds on a normal toilet. So I suggest having 2 people lift the toilet itself and placing it over the drainage. That will make things much easier. Again, this was the first toilet I ever installed, so if I could do it, you could. So let's go through its features, and then I'll give you my review with those features. So the first feature is my favorite feature, which is the pre-mist feature. That's when you sit on the toilet and it wets the bowl so that it prevents anything from sticking to the bowl, any kind of debris, Klingons, whatnot. The great thing about this is that it prevents any streaking from happening when the bowl is dry, and also it helps keep the bowl clean afterwards, so you have less cleaning to do. This is a great feature. Now, the second feature is obviously the flusher. So this has a 3-stage flush system. One is actually the centrifugal flush, which is kind of like a tornado flush. So it'll create the cyclone to enhance the flushing. And then once it's up to a certain point, the electronic siphon jet will actually activate and suck the water out from the bowl. And it literally leaves the bowl clean of any debris. Afterwards, it'll fill the bowl back up using the centrifugal fill again. So those are the 3 stages of the flushing system. And the great thing about that is you can actually adjust each one of those stages. So in the typical flush itself is a 0.8 gallon flush, and the full flush is actually a 1.28 gallon flush. So the Swan Munich comes with this remote control. It's a sleek design. It's actually capacitive touch on the front face of the remote, and it has push buttons on top and on the side of the remote itself. So the main feature, the bidet feature, obviously, since this is an electronic bidet, it has multiple different adjustability to it. The first adjustability is the wand extension. So it has 4 different adjustability on there. You can also adjust the water temperature, and you could actually see the water temperature on the LCD screen on the toilet prior to adjusting it. The next is the pressure of the water. You can adjust that too. It has 4 different steps. And finally, you can adjust if you want it to be a reciprocating feature, which is a spraying feature that reciprocates back and forth to clean a wider area. Or you can have a spot where it just sprays at a single place. I like the reciprocating area. It has a wider cleaning area, cleans you better. I feel that it definitely leaves you clean. So that's a great feature. Now on the feminine wash, it's exactly the same features as the bidet feature, the butt wash feature. And you could adjust all those same features: the temperature, the pressure, the extension of the wand itself, and also if you want it to reciprocate or not. The 4th feature is the auto drying feature. This automatically activates after using the butt wash or the feminine wash. After using it for a minute and a half, the auto drying feature will start. Basically, it'll go through a process of automatic features. First, it'll flush the toilet, removing all the debris, and then it will turn on the drying feature. So it'll dry for a total amount of 5 minutes, which is kind of long. But you can turn it off anytime you want. And it has different settings for the temperature. Currently right now I have it at a medium, and for about, I would say, a minute and a half, I'm 90% dry. So it's a good feature. It's a great feature. It's a powerful dryer, and I was surprised that it actually would keep me dry. Because I wasn't expecting it to actually be that powerful, but it is pretty powerful. So that's a great drying feature. The 5th feature is pretty standard. This is the heated seat. So this is standard on all electronic bidets now. It's great features still to have, especially when you're in colder climates. Currently right now it's the summertime. I have the setting on low, and it keeps me pretty comfortable. So it's a pretty basic feature on an electronic bidet. The 6th feature is the spa feature. Basically what it is it just massages your butt, help you relieve stress, I guess, and so it'll reciprocate hot and cold water, and you can adjust the temperature on this, and also the distance of the wand too. So again, I haven't used it that much, but it is a great bonus to have. The next two are actually pretty standard features on electronic bidets. The nightlight itself, it's pretty self-explanatory. You know, you don't have to turn on a light at night when you have to go to the bathroom. This one shines blue, but I don't think it's a UV light. It doesn't disinfect anything. Is the deodorizer. So this deodorizer is actually pretty nice. So when you sit on the seat itself, it activates, and then it turns off about a minute and a half after you leave. So it sucks the stink, and it filters it through a carbon filter, and it works pretty well. I'm surprised that I was kind of leery on if it actually works or not, but I was actually surprised that it works very well. So that's a good feature to have. Finally, the auto lift on the lid and the seat. This toilet itself has a motion sensor. When you walk up to it, it will lift the lid. And then there's actually a sensor on the right side of the toilet where you can tap it with your foot and it will lift the seat up. So for a guy to take a leak. And then afterwards, when you walk away from it, it'll automatically go through the flushing cycle. It'll flush the toilet, and then it will close the lid and the seat. There you have it, guys. Those are the standard features of the Swan Munich, and you know it's an amazing toilet. For the price that you're getting, it rivals high-end toilets, and for the fraction of the cost. You know, the performance is amazing on the flushing system itself. All the features are great. You know, it hasn't had any hiccups for the time I've been using it, and it always left the bowl clean. So with that being said, the toilet itself, if you have any issues, it has a 3-year warranty on it. It has a warranty card. You know, you can give them a call. You know, they'll help you out. And you know, depending on what you're looking for on an electronic bidet, you know, again, you know, you definitely have to look at it at your price range, right? Sometimes this is too much for certain people, so seat itself is sufficient enough. You know, what are you guys looking for in an electronic bidet? You know, let me know, comment below, and then let's talk about it. So again, you know, this is John. Thank you for watching. See you next time.